Yes, that's it.
We are here.
We are.
And we are queer. How about that? How about it, girls?
We was just doing a little pre-episode talking about Instagram and
we did, and what I was getting at, T.S. Madison followed us, y'all, like last week. I know y'all probably like, why they telling us this? I don't give a fuck. And what, bitch? What that mean? To us, that was like big because we love T.S.
Right,
course,
we do.
So. And she ain't just a follower; she active. That's the part that was. I was like,
liking stuff. Yeah.
Yes, I was enjoying that.
Yes. Do you have any pre-T? Let me look at my notes. I don't think I.
Okay, while you looking at your notes, let me say this. So I did mention last week, I think briefly, I said that I had a situation going on, but I wasn't gonna talk about it until I kind of got down to the bottom of what was going on. So what that was about, my dad, of course. What happened? Okay, so have I said how old my dad is?
You told me. I don't know if you said it on the mic. I think you probably have though.
Okay, he's like 73. Okay. And I'm 27, right?
Right.
So he's at the age where you got to get your prostate exam done.
Right.
And I don't know, out there in the lands, if y'all have significant others that are at that age, I think they recommend by the age of 50, but I think for African American men, it's 40, right? Because we're at a higher risk. So I don't know if y'all out there, if y'all men getting this done, they need to, or if your fathers are getting it done, they need to. And the reason being, my dad's has been fine. His exam has always come back clear and clean until this year, right?
Okay.
They found a growth, like it was a massive growth. Matter of fact, the doctor that ended up doing the evaluation said that it was the biggest growth that he had seen in his career.
Oh my goodness.
Right. So that was like, I got that news last week before the episode. So I was like, and I had went to I still recorded, girl, because I have to, sometimes I just have to put stuff in a compartment in my mind and then get back to it at another point. So I had the way that I found out, I had went to my parents' house to like drop off. Sometimes I got that habit of going to the store for something and that something ain't there, so you buy something else. I don't know if y'all got that problem or not, but I got it.
I need an example.
You go into Walmart
for milk and you end up with eggs. That's what you're trying to say? Or?
Well, for me, it would be for milk and then I end up with cookies and so that's yes. So I have that. I have cookies that very bad. Girl, come on now, because I need something to go with. It needs a friend.
Oh, no,
the buggy needs a partner, honey. Yes.
You get the milk and the candy.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So I did that. I went to, I think it was Bed Bath & Beyond, and they had like these socks that like had lotion built into the socks, girl. I had never seen those. They always got some shit there that you ain't even never heard of.
Okay.
I was like, ooh, these are cute. Let me pick these up and take these to my parents. So I went on over there. I'm in a jolly mood. I'm dropping off these socks like, hey, y'all, these gonna feel nice. How y'all doing? They like, oh, your daddy might have cancer.
Huh?
What happened?
What
you saying?
What was said?
I was trying to give you these socks. Maybe you didn't hear me. Let me say it again. Hey, y'all, I got socks for you. Baby.
Right.
They hit me with the tea. So this
they
week
didn't
was
even
the week.
sit down or nothing?
Girl, I guess they knew gravity would catch me, girl. I don't know. So this week, he ended up, they wanted to do like a full exam to figure out whether or not it's cancerous or benign. So that happened this week. And I can report back that it is benign. Praise God. Hallelujah. How you doing? So it is, he says that like, I don't know if y'all know much about the prostate, but apparently there are like 2 lobes on the prostate. My dad has like a median lobe that's like in between. It's like coming in between the 2 lobes. And so they're going to have to go in there. It's been affecting like his bladder. The way that he urinates, it's been like kind of blocking his urinary tract. And making it hard to, use the bathroom and stuff. So they're going to have to go in there and get that out, but it's not going to be they'll put him under, but it's not going to be like a difficult procedure or anything that we should be concerned about.
So procedure.
Exactly. So I'm really happy about that. So I'm here today. My energy a little better. I feel like I was able to do a little bit more research once I got my mind cleared. So yeah, that was what that was.
Well, I'll definitely be praying for you and your family. We definitely.
Thank you.
And shout out to you for definitely recording last week, because I can't say that I would have.
And
Even
and it's understandable.
The girls is missing us.
Right, it's understandable. I mean, we all deal with stuff in a different way, so it's understandable.
Right, and it's very important. I'm glad you brought that up because it's very important, especially for African American men, to get, to get that checked regularly. My grandfather passed away from prostate cancer. So,
oof.
Yeah. So,
how long ago was that?
Oh, that was many years ago. My grandfather passed when I was like 4 or 5. So,
okay. Yeah,
so 20 plus years ago at this point.
Damn.
Yeah. So
what's going on in your world, girl?
Nothing much. I'm out here in California.
Yes, honey.
I'm
living big, honey.
We're not singing that song. He canceled. I'm sorry.
Who you was going for, Kanye?
No, Lil Duval.
Oh, okay.
The girls was asking why is he canceled. Go watch his Breakfast Club interview. You'll find out. But I haven't been doing anything other than, let me say this, because I'm supposed to be out here looking for a new job, but I've been out here vacationing.
Yes, bitch.
Going to the beach, going to the movies, going out to eat, just sightseeing, driving around. That's all I've really been doing. I really just started job hunting truly this week, more like yesterday. But I got some calls earlier today, so I'm probably gonna be doing some interviews next week. But yeah, so I've been really living my best life
to the fullest, honey. That's why you was getting ready to sing that. Now let me say this. Now it ain't nothing wrong as long as you ain't streaming it, bitch. Duval not getting paid for you singing it, honey. He ain't.
So you just care about the coin.
That's all. I don't have to.
So if I download
pretend like
that's fine.
Come on now. I don't have to pretend like your artistry or whatever the heck, because I know artistry was a wrong word to use for Duval. But the point is, if he had that, I don't have to worry about that as long as I'm not putting any money in your pocket.
In their pockets.
That's it. That's the way that you get the girls together. You don't have to walk around harboring hate or dislike or whatever. Bitch, yes, girl, that song is amazing. Guess who won't be buying it?
So this is not the Nike situation where these white folks was burning Nikes they already had. And Nike done already got
girl, is that I would have been wearing the fuck out of my Nikes. What you talking about? Even if I was mad at Nike, girl, I done spent these coins.
At least you could not wear it. I could understand that if you felt so strongly. But burning
it, you could sell it. You could give it away to all of those veterans y'all claim to care about. All of the military vets that are homeless because the statistics are very high. Y'all could have gave it to them, but you don't really. It was never about that. So of course.
What else? I feel like I was just about to say something, but I forgot. I don't remember. Did you watch Insecure this week? Or the finale?
Did I watch Insecure? Oh, that was the finale?
It was. It snuck up on you, didn't it? Let me say this to Issa.
God. Tell her to extend them.
She was asked about this, I think a season or two ago at this point.
Please tell her to extend them. Please.
They asked her, it's like, we just feel like the episode was too short. And she said, I did this intentionally, and she chose to have short seasons. I don't have time for this. I mean, I do have time because I'm still going to watch it.
But you playing with my emotions.
Because it's already over, so I don't got to wait a whole year from now.
To see.
The episodes are like 20-something minutes.
Girl, sometimes I still be having food left, and the episode done went off. That's not cute. That's not cute, Issa. I need to be done with this meal and ready to move on to the next by the time I skip on over to How to Get Away with Murder.
I can't even get 2 drinks in. I'm still on the first drink.
Damn, well, I'm not drunk. Please, I may have to post this to the Instagram. Issa Rae, please, next season, do not do this to us.
If you're gonna give us 20-something minute episodes, okay. Give us 16 to 20 episodes a season.
Come on now. Meet me halfway.
If you don't want to do that, then up into an hour and give us 10 episodes.
and if you really rooting for everybody black, you will make this happen. Because rooting for everybody black includes us, girl.
Right. And all these people that's gonna be employed by you increasing this show for longer.
Come on now.
Oh goodness, but yeah. But to
shout out to Sora Salsa. Shout out to her real quick because she come in and she was like, yeah. She was like, I don't know why people keep acting like they don't understand sexuality and you know how you can be bisexual and baby, you was right on it. Thank you so much
happened?
for that.
I don't think I read this comment. What happened?
It was on SoundCloud. She left it on SoundCloud. Yes, you should go check that one out. It was when we were talking about what was the UPS man. The UPS man that Molly was dating or whatever.
Girl,
and he was,
yes.
Because remember, that came up, that just recently came up again.
So we talked about that last week and how she probably could have been with him. And then, to our surprise, he's on the season finale.
Yes.
So we had kind of just put that out there. We didn't even know. We didn't get no advance copy. So if you
No, Issa didn't tell us shit. She didn't tell us shit.
We was just in conversation.
And Molly is still sitting here thinking the worst of this man.
Right. She just could not. So she messed over a good one. But meanwhile, she could be down to the puss anytime.
Come on now.
And then a man would take her back. But
come on now. But you know what? She didn't need to be with him because she needed to figure out these issues she got. Because that apology that she had gave that little Asian, what we gonna call him, Asian bae?
Andre.
That's his name? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think his name is Andre.
We can stick with Asian bae. Yes, that apology that she gave him was I mean, it wasn't an apology. The first one. It was not.
It was convoluted. I don't know what. I don't know.
She
but
tried.
When he was sitting there with the hair down.
He wasn't Andrew no more. He was Asian bae, right? I understand.
Oh Lord, but anyway, because before I didn't see it for him.
but when the hair came down, honey,
I was like, oh, okay, I see what Issa.
Oh, that's you. There you go. Now I see you.
What else happened in the episode before we get into?
Let me tell you, that whole Coachella
Ghost
moment
Bay.
was hilarious, though. That was
Coachella. The funniest episode of the season.
It was. God.
I had a dream I got tased.
Oh, Jesus.
But anyway, how did you feel? We didn't even get to talk about the whole stalkering episode when she was doing the absolute most and went into this boy house in his room.
Oh Lord,
that was a mess. But what did you think? Well, I guess what do you think he was really doing? Do you believe him when he came back and said that he was going through something, or he went back to Houston, all of this, that, and the third? I need more. To me, he didn't even say anything. You know, he didn't. I feel like we still don't even really know what is going on. You know what I'm trying to say?
You mean like as far like what he was up to? Like
yeah, what
for
he
real,
was up
for real?
to. Like what really
we don't know, but honestly, I think that he was really trying to figure out how to handle this door that he didn't open, because I just feel like he was really falling for. I really do think he was falling for Issa, and I think he was running away from those emotions. That's how I feel. No contact at all. Like that sounds like you running away. You denying how you really feel. Now your silence is telling me that you possibly feel otherwise.
Right. Okay. I think that. I think they're trying to bring in some type of mental illness type of situation. Ooh. Where he may have been extremely depressed or something like that, or dealing with anxiety. I think that's what they're going to try to bring into it, because some people, people deal with that and can't get out of bed, or don't want to talk to somebody. It's not that they don't like you or they're not interested. They're just dealing with stuff internally.
So I understand that, but baby, if you online posting shit, don't
right. You cutting heads.
don't come to me talking about nobody. I'm gonna need a minute. Just like Issa told him, you gonna have to go.
Right, and then he thought he was coming into the house, but anyway.
No, ma'am.
I think that's it for.
Oh wait, one more. How do you feel about Molly withholding the fact that he came by for the birthday, and how Issa Rae reacted to it? How you feel about that?
I feel like Molly had the best intentions. However, that's not Molly's place to do that.
To make that decision for
that decision. Now, if Issa had already said, help me not to see him, help me not to whatever, then that's fine. Even though she, Issa called herself blocking him, but she probably got the number memorized. But, that whole thing. But if she did not expressly state to you, I don't ever want to see him again, help me or do something like that, then
you out of line.
Yeah, she's out of line.
You crossing over the street. I'm glad that they were able to, because I don't know if we've seen Issa and Molly argue before or even have a disagreement like that.
Right.
I feel like that was the first time. So I like the way that they handled it. Like neither one of them like left.
Right. It was just.
You know what I'm saying? It was just this moment, and then we'll get over it.
Because they've been friends too long, and
they have.
You know, in these shows, they're trying to make people blow up to the point where they act like, oh, we was never friends, but that's not how it really feels. Like, you get mad, y'all talk about it, or don't talk about it, and then you go on it, unless it's something like truly, truly heartbreaking. Or,
right.
Know,
I lied. I do got one more. I thought that Lawrence. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all might not mind though. I thought that Lawrence was not supposed to be on this season at all.
I know. Issa lied to us.
She did.
Because before the season started, she expressly stated in like a some type of interview or magazine or something that Lawrence was not going to be there, and then lo and behold, episode 5 he pop up, you know.
And then it appears like, I mean, obviously neither one of them are fully over the other.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she left room, especially since now you telling me this was the season finale. I didn't even know that. She left room for there to be possibility of them getting back together.
Well, initially, because Lawrence was kind of thinking about forgiving Issa, but then now he's going to be dating the person that's mentoring Issa. Did you catch that?
Mm-hmm. I did. That was going to be the next thing that I was going to ask you about. But I didn't think that meant that the door was closed.
I felt like at that moment he decided that I'm not going to go back and pursue Issa again. I think that was them showing that. And I think that even Issa said that in the wind down. That's probably why I really feel like I think she said something like that in the wind down. But she be lying, so who knows what.
Shit, I was gonna say you can't. I don't know how much weight Issa's words hold these days. Issa, you can't be. Are you truly rooting for everyone black? I don't know. Don't know because you lying, girl.
She was rooting for that surprise because
she was certainly that's there. You rooting for your surprises. I don't know Issa, but yeah. So I don't. We'll see how it plays out. Issa, she might be even toying with it herself right now because that's not anything that, you know, she has to have an answer to right now. They can write that in later or don't write it in. Or
they
whatever.
get into a writer's room, you know.
And you never know what happens.
Right. Did you watch Married to Medicine?
Ooh, girl, I don't think I did. But wait, tell me what happened. Maybe I did.
This was the episode. Greg came on the episode. They went over to whatever Toya husband's name is. House. All the husbands.
I don't think I saw that one.
All right. I don't remember much. Greg came over to the house and he basically said, because Cecil was trying to talk to him, Cecil and Jackie's husband were trying to talk to him and say, kind of fight for the marriage or something like that. And he said,
oh wait, maybe I did see that one. See, this is the thing. I don't. You know, I walk in and out the room. So
and he was basically saying that he feel like Quad don't want him no more.
This is true, and she possibly never did.
Right, she possibly never did. But
I mean, I'm sorry, but
yeah, he's like, you can't fight for something if the other party not even want to fight, but they don't want you. Like
this is my thing. Eugene should have just went about divorce the proper way because I don't. It's not that the things that. Yeah, thank you, girl. Get me back on track. It's not that the things that Greg has been saying prior to us finding out what he did with the girl in the hotel room, which you should mention that she hit us up, by the way. But
she did.
It's not that his how he felt about Quad or felt in the marriage was invalid. It's just the way that you went about it. If you're not happy, leave, but officially leave. Don't try to leave and then try to get back. That don't work because then now the it's shifted and now Quad is the victim and you are the aggressor in the situation. But really, you wasn't really getting what you need from Quad and Quad probably outside of money wasn't getting what she really needed from you. So neither one y'all should have just divorced and that been it, and we wouldn't have this messy storyline.
But they're actually getting a divorce right now, currently. Like
they are
off camera. Okay, no, it's probably on camera, but not showing yet. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because they need a divorce. I don't see it for them. Simone and Cecil and Jackie and Curtis, they can stay together. Greg and Quad. I never really saw for their marriage anyway. It didn't look right, and it never
and then
felt
you
right
notice
to me.
The girl that he allegedly had oral sex with, she's been out here talking, doing all kinds of interviews and stuff, and talking about like the only reason that they didn't have sex was because he didn't have a condom. Well, yeah, that's what it was. He didn't have a condom on him, and she told him like, you need to go to the corner store. I think he hit his boys up first to see if they had one, but they didn't. And she was like, you need to go to the corner store and get a condom. And when he went, unfortunately, the story kind of makes sense. Number one, we already know that you went to the hotel room with her. So now anything that she says already has some sort of, we validity. Feel like it could be true. Yeah, it has some validity because
and
she
to me, once you get all the way up, you done booked the hotel, paid for it, went up to the room, made it into the room. You done, these is conscious decisions. At this point, you already
she's got the upper hand. She's got the upper hand. Her words have the upper hand. So she says that he went to the store, and in that process, while he was on that journey, he made up his mind, not to go back. And that sounds true. And then it doesn't help the fact that she ain't even saying y'all had sex. She just, because that's the thing now to say the word twice. That's the, that's
right.
Now. She ain't even saying y'all had sex. She said y'all just had oral sex, and never, like, it would have almost, the fact that she didn't say that y'all like fully went out almost makes it so much more believable.
Right.
If that makes sense, because it's like at that point, the fact that we know you were in the room, you could lie and say whatever. You know what I'm saying? You could say he bit your ear off. Like you could say any old thing because we already know that you were officially in the room and we would believe it. But the fact that you said, "Nah, we didn't even go that far." Like you was 100% just.
It just seems real.
It does, and it's not a good look. And I'm sure Quad is not. She does not handle embarrassment very well, and.
And then the scene when Quad went over to Jackie's house and Jackie's trying to get her, and then Quad is just like, that's just not me. I just don't tell my business.
You tell everybody else's business and you divvy into everybody else's business.
Right,
that's
but
what
you don't tell your business on camera.
Yeah, you ready to say, child, who owed $75,000 to the tax act? Like, you ready to do all that messy stuff. That's cool. When we talking about all your money, that's fine, but we talking about Jackie marriage. That's cool. But
and then last season, so all of that had been happening all last season. You had already knew about this whole incident because allegedly she was trying to blackmail you or something like that. But
you still was cutting up in everybody else's tea.
But you never said it on camera. You was really looking like when she was talking they were doing a session talking about I just need to feel love. I just need to feel love, but she could never give no examples. Of what she needs to feel. It just
come on now. Come on,
didn't make sense.
I can't buy into this victimhood the same way that I struggle to buy into Nicki Minaj's victimhood, but we'll get there later.
Oh Lord. You got some tea for us?
I do. Nicki Minaj, yes I do.
Oh wait, we need to start the episode. Oh,
we do.
I guess we done already started the episode.
No. This is it. This is definitely it. Hi, I am Tiger Tansy.
And I am Wise Guy Coat. And welcome
and
to
this is it's God.
Backseat Drivers.
So I have some sort of numbers because it's been a long time.
It has.
And I really want to thank folk. Now I'm going to say we have not 100% figured out how to make this work. These numbers are, what is the word an estimate, let's say.
Or selective.
Yes, they are. They're very selective. It's not everything because we're just on two different platforms right now. And it's kind of difficult to just kind of merge the two together.
Right.
So what I have is the top states for the last episode. So that's what we're going to do on this go around. And then hopefully I can figure out how to better give us an estimate and be able to break it on down to the cities. So the first state coming in, well, not number one, number 5, Florida. Thank you guys so much. Yes, we appreciate that.
It's very important that y'all vote. Andrew Gillum, I think, is the candidate's name.
Love him.
Every single Floridian with some sense to go out.
No,
and
even
vote.
if you don't got sense, vote. Like vote for him.
Not if you're gonna vote the opposite way. If you
well, yeah, if you're gonna do that, then stay home.
Right.
Stay home. But yeah, if you don't know anything about him, he's done 2 Breakfast Club interviews. They were both amazing because I'm not finna, like, I ain't done looked into the man myself, but I did see those 2 interviews and they were great. I loved it. Support him, yes.
Right.
Coming in at number 4 is California. That's your neck of the woods now, girl. Coming in at number, yes, God. And actually, this one tied. I guess this is, girl, I didn't even realize. I wrote this shit down. I didn't even realize it tied. Georgia, y'all tied with California, so yes, God. Coming in at number, yes, God. Coming in at number 2 is Texas.
Okay, Texas.
Yes, God. That's I expect that. That's just expected. Thank you so much. And coming in at the top spot for the week is New York.
Congratulations. Welcome back.
Yes, God, honey. Y'all took over. And y'all were by a nice margin. Too. Yes, yes. So thank you so much.
Yeah, because there's a lot of, since you know about states, there's a lot of cities in New York that even they may not be the top city normally, but it'll be a lot of different cities that each place well. Unlike, Texas is normally just Houston, or Georgia is normally just Atlanta. You know what I'm trying to say? But yeah. So.
And you're right about that. I came very close because I was able to see some of the states that contributed to the numbers. So I was gonna jot down some of those and just not states, some of the cities that contributed to the. I was gonna just jot those down, but I was like, nah, I wanna whenever I do cities, I wanna have that all the way together.
Right.
But you're right. I noticed that I noted that with New York that it's a bunch of different places in New York, and so I'm also gonna have to figure out a way to give credit to the people outside of the United States as well, because with this new system, y'all definitely are not gonna be able to get in there because some of these states just they just really outweigh. But I'm gonna have to figure it out because we do have a lot of listeners every week that are not even in the United States, and I want to shout them out too.
Right.
Okay, so what we gonna do? You want to do some quickies first?
Yeah, we can do a quickie.
You want to do a quickie and then switch over?
Tag team.
Okay. I like tag. I don't know how y'all feel about tag.
Yeah,
I don't know how
let
y'all
us
feel.
know how y'all feel.
Please say if you want no bitches, structure it. Okay, just tell us. I wanna know.
Quickie.
I just want a quickie.
So let's do this because this is the first one I jotted down. Girl, I know you saw Cardi B had to turn herself on into the feds, girl.
She did. She
certainly did. For ordering or allegedly ordering an attack on those nightclub dancers. Now, we talked about them, I don't know, 2-3 episodes ago or something like that. Right. All of this shit supposedly happened on August 29th at Angels Gentlemen's Club, and it's Baddie. I don't know if they called the girl Baddie G.I. or Baddie G, and it's spelled G.I., but I don't know if the G.I. it's like you say G or if you say...
I think it's G, Baddie G.
Okay, Baddie G and Jade. So they say that they was assaulted by Cardi. I'm very confused on this. I guess we'll just have to see where the fuck this go, because like I told y'all, one of the strippers that was there that night said that Cardi did not put hands on them girls. On top of that, the girls went on Instagram Live and after the incident happened and said that Cardi did not get a finger on them. So now they're claiming assault. I'm just trying to. I'm
because from my little research of what I've seen, the charges don't state that Cardi B actually assaulted them directly, but she ordered someone to assault, which is another form of assault or something like that.
But if they say they weren't touched,
in the video they said that Cardi B didn't touch them. So they're alleged they were touched by somebody else on Cardi B's orders. That's not what I read. Okay,
I didn't read that the girl. I've read that the girls they pulled a Nikki. Okay,
what
when
you mean?
Nikki came outside of that after that incident went down and she got out there in front of that car and was like, yes, bitches, take pictures of me. I'm good. I'm untouched. That is what I saw that the girls said, that they were not touched at all. They were perfectly fine after that incident. So I don't know. But what you're saying makes sense, except this NYPD spokesperson said that Cardi was throwing chairs, bottles, hookahs. I'm confused.
Where's the video? Because if this isn't happening in the club, I just feel like there should be video of something that is going down.
If Cardi B is throwing chairs,
if Cardi B is present anywhere, phones coming out. She could be going to the grocery store. Phones is coming out. But especially you in the club with hundreds of people, probably packed. Phones should come out. To me, it just doesn't make sense.
You would think. Now, they say that Nicki Minaj, the streets are talking and saying that Nicki was the one that hooked these girls up with Meek's lawyer. I don't know if I believe that, especially after this additional tea that we done got between Meek and Nicki and what's going on right now. I don't know if I believe that. And then Meek's lawyer went on the Breakfast Club and he didn't sound too enthused about the way that Nicki Minaj was talking or handling, Meek's case. He didn't like her commentary. So I don't know if I believe that part. I think that maybe some of the Barbs are just trying to pin that on Nicki. I can't say
the Barbs and the anti-Barbs and whoever else.
Right? Because you know what I'm saying. If Nicki's guilty, I don't mind saying she's guilty, but I just don't think
saying that she's stopping everybody bad.
Yeah, but that may be true, especially after that little tea that came out with. Did you see the stuff with Future? I know you saw that.
Yes.
Where they were saying that it was alleged that Nicki said, "Look, nigga, if you finna go on tour with me, what you not gonna do is be on a record with Cardi B. That's not about. I can see that happening. I can really see that. So I can't eliminate that.
I feel like she must got a lot of pull. If she can tell another successful rapper that he's not to do a song, to me it just don't. And then it wasn't.
You don't think Nicki Minaj got pulled to tell Future if you're gonna go on tour with me? Because
it was a co-headlining tour.
But it's still Nicki Minaj. It's Nicki Minaj. Like what other? You know what I'm saying?
I feel like Nicki Minaj is not a liked person. I feel like anything that we can say about her is going to be believable. That I do not believe. And then Future said it wasn't so, but you can't trust these niggas anyway. But
girl, because I don't. We can't even trust Issa Rae, let alone these niggas.
But
Okay, so also going on, I know we're gonna have to we'll revisit. Okay, we'll see how this plays out with them misdemeanors and all that. Yeah, we'll be back to that later. Now, did you see that Cardi B is also being sued by the woman who she made fun of her dead child? That's a money grab. Sis, you trying to get paid, sis.
She is trying to get paid. How long ago
was that? But how you gonna pop up all these years later?
Well, the girl was on Queen Radio.
And you said Nicki don't do what? What did you say Nicki don't do? What was it again?
I said y'all just act like she just got tremendous pull. She might do. I don't know.
How you ain't trying to stop a bitch bag when you got the bitch that's suing?
No, but the girl wasn't suing her then. She came on Queen Radio and then she probably either realized she had a case or somebody reached out to her and said, you have a case.
The way Nicki cut up, you would certainly think you have a case. Nicki was wild as fuck, but I can't because Cardi fell into that hole.
And the girls who are currently suing Cardi B right now, they weren't on the show, but I think they had a statement that Nicki Minaj read about how Cardi B has since threatened them and has since stopped them from going back to working at strip clubs and so on and so forth. She read all of that. So these people who are now currently suing Cardi B have been involved with Nicki Minaj.
Well, we already know that Nicki knew them prior to this
the
whole
girls,
incident going down.
Yeah, but not the roach girl, the girl who's talking about the dead child with the dead child. She came on, or she called in she was on there talking about the whole situation.
Now let me ask you this, because we always say, or at least I do, that you can control, or you can decide to do whatever you want to do and say what you want to say, but you can't control someone's reaction. Right. So the girl went on Cardi's page and commented under. I think Cardi had made a video about her teeth. I don't know if she was saying that she finna get them done, or maybe that was when she was saying, I'm not finna get my teeth done. You bitches gonna have to deal with it, whatever. Right. The girl commented under it and said, "Nah, Cardi, you should go ahead and get them done." Now Cardi at that point came back and said the shit. She went on the girl page and saw that her child was. She said, "Rest in peace to her son," and that's when she decided to say that she. I don't know. I don't want to exaggerate it, but I believe she called him a monkey. She said something about
her motherhood, and she was basically saying that you're the reason that your son is dead. She said something to that effect. She said something about a monkey, and she also referenced her mother, the mother being the result of her child's death.
So I feel like that's wild as fuck. There's never, in my opinion, there's never a reason to bring up someone's child. There's always enough ammo that you can find. Because me being a reader myself, I do that too, Cardi. I go on people's page and I look at what's in their bio and then I read them for what's in their bio. I do that too. So I understand. But there's never a reason if someone's talking about their child. I don't feel like there's never,
especially if it's a deceased child.
That's come on now. Lines. You don't went to hell at that point. So I don't feel like that was cool at all, and I'm not trying to excuse their behavior, but at the same time, people gotta stop coming at these celebrities' necks and coming all this stuff under. Well, at that point, she was like an Insta star, but people gotta stop coming at these folks' neck and thinking that you ain't finna get your life read to you. Like you came on my page, said some fucked up shit to me, whereas maybe to you, the most hurtful thing someone could say was about your child. Maybe to me at that time, I think Cardi was putting on a front. I think she really wanted to get her teeth done. I really do. Maybe to me right now, the worst thing you could say is to talk about my teeth. Maybe that right now for me, pain-wise, is equivalent to me talking about your child.
Right.
So you can't be coming on nobody else's page just running your mouth and thinking that somebody not going to say nothing back to you. This is a money grab, and I do not support this woman coming at Cardi. Yeah, Cardi was fucked up, but girl, you wasn't hurt the year after. So you hurt today? You hurt today.
I can't see I don't support this woman because just like the
Really?
video. No, I'm gonna just compare. I'm gonna say the reason why.
Okay.
Just like the video of the girl you posted when the ceiling tile had fell to the ground and she gonna lay down.
So you gonna say something I post and spin it around on me?
I'm just saying that if you can get a coin,
get a coin.
If this is your come up, if
this is your lottery ticket, cash it in, bitch. I understand.
Exactly.
I understand.
I'm not saying that I personally would do that.
Now, speaking from a financial stability standpoint, that's what we can do with that. We'll file that in financial stability. In financial stability, she done did the right thing. Especially when Cardi is at a point where she's... Come on now. Cardi is already... I mean, she getting arrested for assault and what was the other...
She probably just going to pay to get it...
Reckless endangerment. Exactly, just to move on. So okay, financial stability, yes. Moral compass, not so much. That's what we'll say about that. All right, so we'll get to Nicki and claiming abuse today, and I don't know. We might even do a little Princess Tiana.
Oh yes, we can do that. We may have to skip over Nicki because we just.
So do you want to do a reckless driving first?
This is not the Nicki show.
This isn't the Nicki show, and we can't do Nicki right behind Cardi because then we looking like, I don't know.
Right.
So do you want to do one of your reckless?
Yes. So on yesterday, Wednesday, a federal judge temporarily blocked the Trump administration from ending legal protections for more than 300,000 immigrants. So currently, immigrants from El Salvador, Nicaragua, Sudan, and Haiti have a TPS status, which means temporary protected status, which is normally given to people who flee their home countries due to either natural disasters and or conflicts in the country. So Trump basically and his administration claimed that the conditions that forced them to leave their country in the first place are no longer present. But Judge Edward Chin, U.S. District Court Judge Edward Chin ruled that the recipients and their children will undisputably suffer if they lose their status and were deported back to their original countries. As many of these people have had this status for decades and now have children who were born in the United States. So basically, it's 300,000 people who are probably living here for 10 to 30 years at this point, and have been under a certain protected status that have allowed them to stay in this country. They originally came to this country because of either natural disaster and or turmoil in their original country. But Trump was trying to get them all deported back to a country that they no longer know because they've been here for so long at this point and have families and roots and jobs and lives in this country. This is what he was doing this week. But it was at least temporarily blocked for now. But with the Trump administration, they are persistent, so I'm sure they'll try it again. But at this time, it was not successful. It's just when I read stories like this, it's just like, really, like what? Why would you even want to send these people back? To force them to go back to a country, it's forced them and their children and families to be separated but what good is this going to do for the United States? You
Right.
know? Like we have so many issues that's going on. You are so concerned with these immigrants. It's literally insane. You have a problem. You have a problem. You have a personal vendetta, and it's I don't. It's sad. It's really sad.
See, that's why I let you sit over there and get stressed out about the government. I let you do it. I do. I said, you know what? We can't both. We can't both be dead. We can't. Oh, and the girls was with you. Did you see that I posted the clip of you last week talking about Trump? And
No.
how he embarrassed the fuck out of us at the UN. I don't know if you saw that. The girls was coming down.
I think I saw a little clip of it.
Yes, they loved it. And while I was, because I always try to find something else to add to the clips. While I was researching the topic to make sure that I was, the caption was gonna say everything I needed it to say, I saw that there were like all of these times where Trump has come at Obama's neck, claiming that he is making us the laughing stock of the world.
That was in my notes. It was a sub bullet, but I forgot to mention. It. But yeah,
girl,
mm-hmm.
it was crazy. It made him look like such a fool. I enjoy posting that.
Right, and then after the fact, he went back and tried to say, "Oh, I intended for them to laugh. I think that it was well received." No, because even in the speech, you were like didn't expect that reaction. You literally said that.
Because that's what's
So
the
now
reaction in the moment. Now you change
lie. You just gonna lie in broad daylight. The amount of the lack of moral integrity in this administration is literally. It's like I just saw you. I just saw you cross the street, and you're gonna tell me that you didn't cross the street. Like it's on camera. Let's replay it. We can see you. But anyway,
that rundown that he gave at the beginning of that UN speech, that's the same little spiel that he gives at the beginning of his campaign. So it's like we know that there's some
rallies.
His rallies, right? I call him campaign because I feel like he's still running when he do these fucking rallies.
He's still trying to convince people that he's a good president.
Come on now. That's the same speech that you give at the beginning of, like, we know that you're serious about what you said. We have factual evidence showing that you are serious about what you said. It's just that the way that the people be shouting for you at them rallies, that just was not happening.
Right.
It just didn't work. So let's talk about Princess Tiana, child. Have you heard anything about her?
I have. I posted something, I think. Yeah, I posted something this weekend.
Baby, they just won't. Disney just won't leave her skin tone alone. They just won't do it. They just want the girl to. They want her to be like one of these celebrities that used to be dark and now they light. They don't. Well, they had. I don't think they did. Well, they did. They did edit her nose as well. So
they made her a whole
accurate.
Caucasian woman.
That's quite accurate.
They made her a whole mixed Caucasian, something ambiguous.
They definitely did. They definitely did. So I don't know if y'all heard about it, but the Wreck-It Ralph 2 trailer, that's like a Disney movie. It's getting ready to. The trailer was released. The movie's getting ready to come out soon. And I don't know nothing about no Wreck-It Ralph. I ain't seen the first one. I ain't gonna see the second one. But I found out that Princess Tiana is gonna be in the movie, and I didn't know from the trailer. Like, I watched it. I'm like, okay, where's she at? I don't see. They said Princess Tiana was in this movie. I don't see her. Where's she at?
Right.
Come to find out, they done switched the girl whole ass look up. They done made her lighter. They done made her nose thin. They done gave sis some loose curl. Come on now.
Loose.
Ain't got no, it ain't.
Right. She went from 4C to 3A real quick.
Real fast, honey. Real fast. So, we wasn't really all the way here, or at least I believe he was on the page with me, for that Princess and the Frog movie due to the fact that she was mainly a frog.
In the movie. And then somebody got smart in the comments. I posted that. I said, well, y'all already disrespected us in the first place by making us a damn frog the whole movie. She was literally a human all of 15 minutes in the movie.
And then now the time that she probably will be seen the most is when you decide to change her whole look up.
Right.
Really Disney. So, even though, like I said, I wasn't the biggest fan of that movie, kids didn't feel the way that we felt about it. They enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Right.
See a little brown girl on the screen. They loved it. So she was the first African American.
Before you said it, let me finish. Go ahead. You were trying to read me. So I said we was a frog the whole movie. And then somebody gonna get in the comments real smart and say, we weren't a frog. Princess Tiana was a frog in the movie. I was like, you dumb bitch.
Girl, do you not know that we are a collective at times? Do you not understand that? That's what representation is all about. It's not you, it's how you're being represented.
Right.
Sis. Oh, Jesus Lord. It's some ignorant people online. You just gotta
Oh, goodness.
you gotta either delete or block. That's what I do these days. I don't even give it a this girl, I know this girl was going back and forth with me. I can't remember what the fuck we were talking about because that's how much I cared. She was going back and forth, and like her last message was like long as fuck. Apparently, I said something that struck several nerves. No, several nerves, girl. And she wrote me back a long article. You know what I did? I deleted it, and I responded. I said, "How does it feel to know that I deleted that without reading it?" and that was my last. I don't have time to play with you today. I'm not doing this because and I wouldn't do that if it wasn't for the fact that she was on the side of. She was siding against herself. That's my thing. It's like you siding against your own
people.
But that's what self-hate is all about. We're not going. That ain't what we were. Let's get back. Okay, so yes, Princess Tiana. She was our first African American princess, and she had this beautiful dark skin, and she was voiced by a beautiful brown woman. And baby, they just done switched it up. And Black Twitter was not here for it. Let me tell you, they read Disney into a coma. They was hitting up Anika Honey, Anika Nori Rose, you know, who voiced her. We love Anika. Mm-hmm. Miss Dream Girls.
And they styled Tiana to look just like Anika.
They did. They did.
I'm sure we'll have to get into that.
Mm-hmm. They definitely did. So people were hitting her up. They was like, how dare they do this to motherfucking you? Because, I mean, like you say, she was styled as Anika. That's you.
They literally said, we're going to make her look just like you.
They did. And so she reached out to the production team for Wreck-It Ralph, and, as well as her original animator, which is what you're saying. And that led to an in-person meeting. And do you know these motherfuckers, Disney, honey, they tried to pussy pop.
Right.
Girl, they tried to find a way out. They said that,
the technology that we use now,
yeah,
it's just on screen. It shows a different color, even though we.
And the original Tiana was hand drawn, and this is CGI, and CGI just. Do you know how much of the Black Panther movie was CGI, and them niggas was still around? Don't toy with us. We ain't dumb.
If
we
y'all
understand what
wanted
the
it
fuck.
a certain way, y'all would have got it a certain way.
Y'all would have got it. You did not care. You did not care. And so Anika has a whole statement on her Instagram that she released about it that like detailed the process that she went through. It's like 3 or 4 slides to it. Detailed the process that she went through in order to get or to make change happen for this situation. And it really showed me just how much I think sometimes like I focused a little bit too much on not myself being content with Tiana's position in that movie and her length of time on screen as a human brown being. But the fact that Tiana even looked the way she looked, we really owe to Anika Nori Rose, because she was the one that worked with the animator to say, no, I want full lips.
I want a big nose.
I want a big nose. I want her to look like me. I want to see myself represented. I want this for little girls. So really just shout out to Anika for caring that much, and then even for now following up and going through the steps of making change happen. So she spoke to them and she explained to Disney how important representation was and how important this character was, and so they vowed to make some changes to the character to get it to how Anika wants it to look. And so that, number one, okay, you lied clearly, right? Because you just told us that it was because of CGI. Like they act like they just moved the character over to CGI and then it just changed. It just
It was just we just that color just too rich. We just can't get that color.
We can't go no darker. That's about as much. No, you lied. Because now you're gonna change the character. So like I say, shout out to Anika. Now that I should have mentioned, if I'd have been abreast on everything going on, I should have mentioned that on the last episode, because that was like a week and a half ago at this point.
Right.
But something has recently come up again. I don't know if you saw this, but there was a picture of Karuchi, Miss Karuchi, Chris Brown's ex. From Claus. I should have said that first, because that I don't want to label her.
I'm trying to help you.
Please, thank you. You fill the blank. From Claus, yes, and if you don't know her from Claus, Chris Brown's motherfucking ex, bitch.
Right, and Quavo and some other people.
Okay, we're not gonna go there. We're not going. The slut walk is coming up. We're not going there. That was I didn't mean anything negative about it. Let me try to clean it up real quick. So there was a picture of her going around online, and she was dressed as Princess Tiana, right? Because that's I don't know if you saw that picture.
No, I did not.
Okay, so I saw that going around online. I'm like, oh, okay, she getting ready for, because you know Halloween around the corner. So I'm thinking, okay, so she just getting ready a little early, like you kind of very early, but okay, girl, you look cute. I didn't think much of it, but apparently she was part of a whole makeup tutorial that was done by Patrick Starr, because Disney has a partnership with ColourPop
Patrick
Cosmetics.
Starr from SpongeBob?
No, you shady girl, you shady girl, and if you Google Patrick Starr, you will understand why this comment is so shady.
Okay,
Girl.
let me
Don't
Google who is Patrick.
yeah, you
Starr?
you Google and try not to laugh too hard. Okay, I don't. But Patrick, let me say this: Patrick is a very big makeup artist, and he does amazing makeup. Let me say that. Let me put that out there.
I only see SpongeBob. What's going on? let me
Put Patrick Starr
R.
makeup. It's two R's.
Okay, I got it.
Did you find him? Okay. Whew. All right, you shady girl. Sometimes you don't even have to try to shade; it's just there. So
This
yeah.
name was chosen for a reason. That's what you trying to say. But anyway,
I don't feel bad about this because he rarely has brown girls on his channel, and that's really what this entire thing is about. So he's got a partnership with ColourPop Cosmetics as well as Disney. Disney has come out through ColourPop has come out with a makeup collection that is based on all of their Disney princesses. So this picture of Karrueche is going around is the result of what Patrick Starr has done for the makeup tutorial geared towards Princess Tiana, and I'm like, okay, but is this did you use Mulan's makeup in the kit? Because that's not Tiana's color. Is that the color that they put in the kit for Tiana?
Right.
That don't add up.
It's what is Karrueche? What is she's
And
Asian?
that's you on the same channel as me.
She's
First,
not
let me
even-
clean up last episode. I said semi-black. Some of the girls were offended by that. Some of them were elated. So shout out to you elated girls, and to the offended girls. I am aware that Tamara and Tia both are black, and let me say what my views are on. We can't do that. I'm trying to clean it up.
I'm joking.
Let me give what my feelings are on ethnicity and how it works. I think that you are, and you let me know if you agree, Wise Guy Code. I think that you are all of what you are collectively, and you are also what you are individually. So what I mean by that is, let's say that Karrueche was Asian, Mexican, and black, right?
Right.
If yesterday she told you she was Asian, she'd be right. If today she told you she's black, she'd be right. If the next day she said I'm Mexican, bitch, she'd be right. And if the day after that she said I'm all of three, she'd be right.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it. You are all of what you are together, and you are also all of what you are individually, and that's just how I see it. So this is not to say that Karrueche is not a black woman. Like I said, if this was just Halloween and she just decided to dress up, I would be like, that's cool, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? You can do that. That's not. I don't see
White girls
that
can put
being
on a costume as long as they're not doing blackface.
come on now. That's it's not a big deal. But when we are already having issues with representation, especially of our brown, even when they do black women, they don't do the brown women.
Right.
We already out here struggling literally, I don't know, 5 or 6 days before this whole Karrueche thing happened. We out here struggling to get Tiana's color right.
Right.
And here you are deciding to be the one that gets done up as Tiana. It just
this
doesn't
isn't
add
intentional. It just further proves that Disney was lying, which we already knew that. Y'all intentionally knew that this. Y'all. Okay. So let's go back. Because Dave was trying.
Oh, and let me answer your question too, real quick. What the god? Karrueche is black and Vietnamese. Yes.
But
Go
Disney
ahead.
was trying to, from the statements that Anika Noni Rose stated that they told her is that because of the translation and how it was originally drawn, that the color just happened to end up that way. But y'all also happened to change her nose. Y'all also happened to change her lips. Y'all also happened to change the texture of her hair. These are not things that would just ended up this way. You just ended up with a completely different person. Literally, if you would have put the original Tiana versus that one that they showed in that preview, you wouldn't even you would have told kids would have said those two different people. So he's
you would have your argument would have had a little bit more substance to it if only the complexion had changed.
But you had changed. You changed the nose. You changed the lips. You changed the hair. You changed a bunch of different things.
You changed her ethnicity. That's what you did.
And then furthermore, for the promotion for this, you then decide to select somebody who she's a black woman. Cool, fine, but she's not the same type of black woman as the original Tiana was. She's not.
Yes.
She doesn't even resemble that original Tiana in any capacity. You might as well choose a white woman.
This is a video. This is Disney princesses. Who you think gonna be buying this makeup? This is a video that little kids are gonna see. And when the little brown girls, they get online and they want to see how Tiana's makeup was done, I don't want them looking at Karrueche. I want them looking at somebody that looked just like them.
You could even get Anika to come in.
We could, come on now. Anika is beautiful. She's beautiful.
Okay, even if, let's say, you wanted it, since she was directly styled, she don't even have to do much to look like the character, because the character really looks just like an animated version of her. It literally, if you pick them,
it does.
So okay, that's fine. If you don't want to pick her because you don't have to do much, you can pick any other brown skin girl and show us how to do it. But that's not what you wanted to do.
It's not. And the thing is, I don't know if Cutler Pop got me fucked up with this. If they made the decision, I don't know if Disney got me fucked up. I don't know if it was Patrick Starr, who rarely has dark skinned women on his channel, got me fucked up. So I'll just say all y'all got me fucked up.
Right.
Like,
it's a combination of a bunch of different things.
It's all of y'all. It's every last one of y'all.
F you.
Go ahead.
You're cool. But anyway.
Thank you, Anika, for fighting, girl. Thank you so much, because we don't know you. Girl,
so
you
they actually said that they're going to make changes.
Yes, and I'm shocked about that, because I'm like, I've never seen a situation happen where the trailer has already shown how the character is gonna look, and now you're gonna change like that's
to me. And if you can make these changes this last minute, that means you could have made them in the beginning team.
Come on now.
That's just another.
Because technology has not changed that much since the movie was put together originally.
Goodness.
To now. They really tried it. Oh, but she was hand drawn in the original, so we had to make her CGI, and her nose gets thin. That's a side effect. Okay.
And get wavy. Her hair gets wavy and her lips.
Yeah, and then her lips, they were kind of in the way just a little bit, and we had, come on, y'all tried it fully.
Well, some more bad news. Brett Kavanaugh is looking very likely that he's going to be confirmed to the Supreme Court after today's reporting. So last week we talked about it. They basically postponed the actual vote for a full week, stating that they wanted to launch an investigation that will elapse a full week. So it's going to expire tomorrow on Friday. Into the let me rewind. So they said they're going to postpone the vote until after the investigation was complete. They wanted to have the investigation complete and all the senators review all viable information, and then be able to vote after that. Okay. But the parameters that they put on the investigation, that they basically stated that if any further women were to come forward, they would not be considered, and they basically looking at they were going to compile all the information onto some type of facts or data sheet, and then allow the senators to come in one at a time and view the only physical copy of this evidence, which is basically what they did. I don't know what evidence is on here. They basically took some testimonies and asked a few questions. I don't really know. It really, from my impression, initially, when they initially announced this, it sounded like this was just going to be an excuse to calm people down and then vote him in. That's what it sounded like. Let's just have this fake, investigation, this fluff it up, make it look like we did something, shuffle some papers around, and then vote. That's basically what it sounded like to me. So the senators have now all viewed the information, but several key senators are expressing that they felt that there were no issues with the FBI's what the FBI recently concluded, because the FBI basically made a recommendation, and they got to view the recommendation along with the fact sheet that the FBI compiled. Senators Susan Collins called the probe very thorough. Senator Jeff Flake also agreed with the assessment. So, and he also added, before I get into this, he also, Jeff Flake, stated that the FBI found, let me say this, he added that nothing the FBI found corroborates Christine Blasey, which is Christine Blasey Ford's accusation that Kavanaugh groped her and attempted to rape her in high school. So basically, he pretty much let us know that from the document that he read, the FBI concluded that they were unable to corroborate anything that she said. And that he agrees that the investigation was thorough. He didn't say how he's going to vote, but from his statements and Susan Collins' statements, we can already tell how they're going to vote.
Which way they leaning.
Right. So, I think it was, we only know about it. It's only a few Republicans that have not yet decided to, or are still remain undecided. Senator Lisa Murkowski, she stated today that she is not sure that the FBI's investigation was thorough. Along with Senator Heidi Heitkamp said that she would vote no outright. She's just going to vote no. But they only need 51 Republicans to pass this, and it's looking like they may have the votes. So they're expected to do a preliminary vote on Friday, which is tomorrow. And then if the preliminary vote goes well, then they're going to probably do the actual vote on Saturday. So we'll have a sex offender, rapist / sex offender, or I don't even know what you call
all of the above,
right, on the Supreme Court. So the issue, or I won't say the issue, the importance and why this actually matters is this will be the first time in 40 years that the Supreme Court Justice panel will be have a conservative majority. That means the majority of the Supreme Court justices will have a conservative perspective. This will be the first time in 40 years that has happened. And as we already know, justices remain justices until they decide either they die or they decide they no longer want to do it. So once he's in there, it's as good as signed, sealed, delivered. So, I did want to also mention Trump at one of his rallies, which he's the only president, I think, in modern day history to continue to hold rallies throughout his presidency, even though he's already won. But anyway, so he's at one of his rallies. He basically was attacking the women who stepped forward and accused Brett Kavanaugh. He actually stated at one point, a man's life is in tatters by an accusation. it's I don't even think I want to go into this. And then they're now questioning and trying to say that, somebody can just hop up, anybody can get up and accuse somebody of something and their life will be ruined and they will this, that, and the third. But my whole thing is, you said this about every single person in your administration. But Obama, throughout his 8-year administration, had no issues, no indictments, no accusations, no nothing from nobody. Nothing. The only president, I think, in modern day history to have no accusations of any type of assault, no indictments, no charges, no malpractice, nothing throughout the entire 8 years. So you don't try to act like you can't, like this is just commonality. And then they're also saying, boys will be boys.
Oh, this is just a locker room.
Yeah, this is what boy hasn't done this to a girl. The question is, what they're really saying is what white boy hasn't done this to a girl, because a black boy would be riding right along in jail. But anyway,
this has all been a chain. It's been a chain effect because Trump lowered the bar. He lowered the bar for morals, and now we're allowing any old thing. This is the result of his presidency. Because something like this would have never flown. Right. Never flown if he wasn't the president.
Right. It's the morality or the standard for morality in this country and administration and for our political leaders and figures and people who should be a positive representation for the community at large. It's extremely low. The standard, no, you can rape a few women, you can sexually assault some people, you can lie, you can be sexist, you can be racist, you can be a whole bunch of things. As long as I agree with it, it's perfectly fine. As long as you serve an agenda that I agree with, it's fine. It's at least before they at least tried to keep it behind closed doors, but now it's like we don't even care. It doesn't matter. So before I go into the next thing, I do want to go into the next thing because it relates to this. So now that this whole Kavanaugh situation, it was talked about a lot on the news, especially like a week or two ago. It's very, very popular. But before I say that, with the 2018 midterm elections now less than 5 weeks away, Republican voters have now actually caught up with Democrats in viewing the election as very important. Basically, it was a study or a survey, a poll that was done to determine, the activeness, or the engagement. How Instagram shows our engagement of how many of our followers are actually engaged. So out of the Republicans and out of the Democrats, what is the actual engagement? How many of them are actually engaged in this midterm election and the whole process? It was pretty much shown that Democrats were about 82% engagement, which is very, very high. This was when the poll was taken this summer. As opposed to Republicans, they were in the low 70s. I think it was like a 12-point deficit. But now, since this whole Kavanaugh situation, this has basically awakened the Republican base, and now they are at an 80% engagement, as opposed to the Democrats have still maintained they're around 82% engagement. So this is very, very bad, because what this essentially means is that the publicity that this Kavanaugh situation has caused a lot of the Republicans to wake up and actually are now expected to participate in the midterms when they probably would not have had this whole Kavanaugh situation not happen. So it is extremely, extremely important that every Democrat get out some votes. I don't care if this is not the time to be voting third party or anything like that. Or
playing not, fucking games.
Or not showing up. Cause they even had Cardi B making sense. Did you see her?
Girl, I said, damn. I said to somebody who got the Cardi B. Who done told? Cause I ain't gonna lie. I clicked on the video. I was like, okay, she finna say something stupid. In 5, 4, and baby, she showed me. I said, right, okay, Cardi.
20, and she was still.
Okay, I was like, okay, girl, she did that.
Right.
But didn't Nikki also put something out there about voting? But they went for two different candidates.
I have no clue. I didn't get Nikki. Anything with Nikki name, like, I avoid.
I heard that Nikki also was, online petitioning for somebody to, for people to vote for somebody, but it was like the other person, whoever was the other person that was also on the ticket. That's what I heard. I don't know.
Oh God! But anyway, so yeah,
everything between them is a battle. Right?
They can't even encourage people to vote together.
Yeah, okay, but I battle.
But yeah, so it's very important for you to get out to vote. You cannot. This is imperative. As of right now, the Democrats are expected to take the House. They do have the opportunity to take the Senate as well. But now that the Republican base has been awakened, it's looking like the Republicans may be able to also maintain the Senate. It'll be very close if the Democrats are able to take the Senate at this point. So, yeah, we'll definitely keep you guys posted. And I want to kick it back to Tiger.
Thank you. All right. So, did you see anything with Alicia Keys?
Alicia Keys and then Minaj, they got going on.
That's how you feel about it. There's some girls online that saying that that's what it is.
Do they have a book coming out? What is going on?
So Mashonda is.
Before you get into it, let me just tell you because I don't know much. I just want to see.
Okay.
I saw them do some type of interview, a little 60 seconds.
Good Morning America.
And they all sitting there on this tiny ass couch,
holding hands and touching each other.
Exactly. And they talking about how, there was an overlap period or something like this, which be said. And
it was an overlap period in the bed.
And there was tension and this, that, and they had to sit down and they played past the talking potato, but I just how to cancel it. Whoever's holding this magic object can speak. And girl. So this book is about to be how you successfully take somebody else's man and then get her on your side.
That's not what it is. I cannot.
That's what I feel like. So how to successfully take somebody else's
If
man?
Alicia put that same amount of energy into her career, maybe it'll be popping. Because if she can trick Mashonda the way that she has, girl. Okay, so Mashonda is Swiss Beats' ex, and Mashonda is the one that has a book coming out. But I think Alicia wrote the foreword, and Swiss Beats has like a chapter in the book. So it's called Blend, right? And it's about how to put your family together and blend shit when a bitch come in and try to knock your shit over. And so it ain't gonna be messy. So I'm not gonna read it because Mashonda has already confirmed that it's not a tell-all. And that's what people were thinking. She went on a Breakfast Club and talked about it. That is what I would have been here for. What I wanted to see from them was a red table talk, Jada Pinkett,
have a real conversation.
Sheree Fletcher. Yes, like, bitch, you did this, I did this. I didn't understand marriage. That's what I want. I want them to really just, if you're going to try to sell me this book about how you move past a situation like this, you're going to have to let me in a little bit more than they have been doing. So, like you mentioned, the whole family went, what family? Well, I mean, I guess they are. They went and sat down at Good Morning America, and they talked about this book coming out. And the last time Mashonda said anything in the public, she was saying Alicia Keys ain't shit. She said that her and Swiss Beats was happily married. This was a while back now, years ago. They was happily married, and then Alicia ass showed up into the picture, right? And to some degree, Alicia did play a role. I don't think that it was as much as she's been given, but Alicia did play a role. And Mashonda talked about it into the public when Alicia on Twitter, like I said, years ago, maybe about 10 years ago at this point, she went on Twitter and she's talked about, she tweeted a message. She said, I don't know, what love, everything about love, but I'm just going to tell y'all what love is to me. And she just got on one of them little moments. You know how Alicia Keys did with her music and stuff. And she just was telling the girls, and Mashonda's hot as shit. And so Mashonda released she released a public statement, open letter to Alicia Keys. And I'll read a little excerpt here. She said, my concern with Alicia Keys is no longer the fact that she assisted in destroying a family, but that she has the audacity to make these selfish comments about love and wanting to be with someone even after knowing their situation. How is this the same Superwoman that I sang out loud with? Oh girl, that's how you get a bitch, by reading her with her own shit. Mm-hmm. How is this the same Superwoman that I sang out loud with in my truck? I ask myself sometimes, if you are reading this, Alicia, let me start off by saying, you know what you did. You know the role you played, and you know how you contributed to the ending of my marriage. You know that I asked you to step back and let me handle my family issues that you helped create. So she read the girl. She read her for dear life and strength. And she is not inaccurate, because her and Swiss Beats' divorce was official in May of 2010. Okay? I'm giving y'all a timeline. Alicia's marriage with Swiss Beats was in July of 2010. Their son
they was
together.
Already in public.
Hold up. Come on. Their son, Egypt, was born October 2010. So you tell me when y'all was sleeping together. We were still married, right? Mm-hmm. So what I will say, and I want to pose this to you, this quick question. They had publicly announced that they were separated in 2008. The divorce was not finalized, but they were separated. How do you feel about people? Because Tamar's doing this right now. Her divorce is not finalized, and she got a whole man, and she's talking about him and everything. Right. How do you feel about people moving on, dating other people, having sex with other people in a period when they're separated, but it's not finalized?
This is how I feel. So separated. If we are legally separated and we are currently filing the paperwork for divorce and going through the divorce proceedings, that's perfectly fine for you to be. I feel you don't have to, because this date of oh, this official date is a date it's arbitrary. If y'all are already going through divorce proceedings, and that's something that you choose to do, you choose to date or whatever. However, if y'all just separated and y'all supposed to be trying to work on it, and there's nobody ain't found no divorce papers and nobody did nothing like that, to me, then no, then y'all still together. You know, that's how I feel. So just to be clear, if we are actually going to court, going through the divorce proceedings, I feel like that's fine. I wouldn't personally do it, but I can see how other people can do that. But if we are just separated and we have not began that process of doing that, then no, absolutely not. How do you feel?
So,
let me say, I feel like for you it would be a hard no. All the way. I feel like it's, until the judge say until the judge say knowing you, until the judge say y'all are now officially divorced.
Until the judge say, bitch, you are you again and you are you again. Okay, because you know when you come together, y'all become one. So when the judge say you are you again and you are you again, that's when the fuck. And the thing about it is, Mashonda, even after finding all this shit out about Alicia Keys, and if you interested in hearing more, Mashonda did do an interview like back in the day with Angela Yee, and she talked about like this. It was like not too long removed from the situation when she talked about it, and she was saying like Swiss had bought plane tickets to a place where Alicia Keys was about to have a concert date. And like, so that was like, they were still living together and everything when Swiss did that.
Girl.
Let me say this. The person who was the most wild in this situation was Swiss Beats. And I don't know how many of y'all know, but Swiss Beats had a whole nother child while all of this was going on.
What?
I don't even know if y'all know that. He had a child by a whole nother woman. The little girl was born in 2008, which was the year that Mashonda and Swiss separated. He had a whole nother child. So Swiss was out here wilding.
He probably
like
still is.
Well, that's Alicia's headache these days. So I feel like Alicia made the decisions and the choices that I don't want to say Jada made, but Jada did come in on Alicia's page after all of this came out. So I feel like Jada kind of saw herself. Jada Pinkett Smith. I think she kind of saw herself in Alicia's shoes a little bit as far as how she did not understand marriage at that point. She was very honest about that.
Jada and Will wasn't still married.
We don't know. They were not. They were not married when. Of course, when they got married 2 years after Sheree. He divorced Sheree. So I don't know. I don't know what the timeline was. I don't know when he met Jada. I don't know when we don't know when that started. They never did really dig into that piece of it.
I feel like had Will been talking to Jada, I think that's something they would have discussed in that.
I don't know if I fully agree with that, because I think that's the part, especially in Alicia's situation, that's the part that people are struggling with the most. I just think that Mashonda nor Alicia nor Swiss are being fully open and honest about this situation. I think that Swiss was I think he was telling he was telling Mashonda one thing and he was telling Alicia Keys another thing.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of miscommunication between them, a lot on Swiss Beats' part. Plus, Alicia, sort of like Jada, was fresh. She didn't really understand marriage and how the emotions and the feelings work, and how you can, just because you done divorced don't mean that it's officially over.
Or separated.
Or separated don't mean that it's
right.
Come on now. Don't mean that it's over and that it's like it's that time. So I'm gonna say morally or maybe physiologically, I agree with you. As far as like when it's over, regardless of what that piece of paper is gonna say or do, it was already over. Your marriage was already, and I think that's one thing that hurt Alicia the most, is that Mashonda was not, and she even said herself that she regretted making that statement public and that her ego got in the way, because I mean that's something that later on down the line your child will be able to read
right.
that you had with Swiss. So she regretted that herself. I think that they both made mistakes in the process.
Right.
And I would have liked for them to sit down and to speak about that publicly, because that interview that Mashonda especially did with the Breakfast Club, Of course, Charlamagne was trying to go there. You know, he's supposed to. He's supposed to get to the bottom. Okay, he was like, no, we got to start at the beginning. So exactly, what did Alicia do? Because he did. Oh, bitch, he did. He said because the internet. She went.
Oh, okay.
Because see, they knew better. They knew that as a collective, they could not go to the Breakfast Club. But Mashonda went by herself. Yes, Mashonda went by herself, and he was like, the internet. Charlamagne said the internet is saying that Alicia's a home wrecker. So you tell me what
we can't
happened?
Post no Alicia without somebody
saying home wrecker. So she. Let me tell you, Mashonda. You could tell that they sat down together because while I do admire the fact that they have been able to move past this, like I say, if you're trying to get me to buy a book about moving past this, but you're not really talking about moving, like you just talking about.
What are we moving past? What are we
exactly? What you got to address the issue. You're not really, the elephant is in the room and you're not touching it. And even in that Breakfast Club interview, she wasn't touching it. So I admire what y'all have done. I think it's admirable, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Yeah, we don't get it because you're not giving us the details. You're not giving us the details. So even when she went there, she was like, you know what? I never called Alicia. The word homewrecker never came out of my mouth, you know. And that's pretty much all she said. But you didn't. Okay, so did she start? What?
Just because you didn't say homewrecker on publicly.
But your statement reads homewrecker. You might didn't say that word. But if you sitting up here saying that you contributed to issues in our marriage, that's homewrecker, sweetie. Whether you want to say that phrase or not, you think it's an ugly phrase or not, it's real, and you dancing around the real issue, and I don't need a book with you dancing.
Right. It's like I'm trying to write a book and tell you how to get over something, but I don't tell you what I'm getting over. Right. What you get? What are we really getting over? What are we really blending? What's going on? Are we making smoothies? I don't get it. It just don't make sense.
And let me tell you, when Charlamagne was asking them questions, Mashonda, she was smiling. She was like she would smile and then say, well, you know, like she had to play it off. Mashonda, I see you. We see each other. Mm-hmm. We see each other. And what I mean by that is, it's okay for you not to ever admit this, Mashonda, but it's so much easier to get over something when the other person has suffered. Bitch. Right. And Alicia Keys' career has suffered.
Because I didn't understand why her career had suffered. Because I was like, okay, homework. It didn't. Because you know what's my standards for celebrities in their personal life. It didn't really. It's like, okay, she took it happened. Okay, moving. Like it didn't really play.
Moving forward.
I put that out of my mind. Didn't even think about it. But then I started looking at Alicia Keys' posts and her comments and everything. I'm like, oh, good, y'all, it's really, this is 8 years later, y'all are still y'all are still calling this woman homewrecker. Like, she done got babies, put them in, but, yeah, let me say this. Angelina Jolie, I don't feel like she got this, and she literally took him, like, he was a happily married man before the making of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. After the making of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, he was a happily divorced man. What the hell is
Angela Jolie? Because she came out with Salt and everything. Salt was a good movie. Was it Salt?
I don't know.
Salt was the black girl. Salt was
I don't know. But anyway,
I can't remember. It was one of them movies. I think it was Salt. Salt was really good. And that came out after that. But where the hell is it? I don't know. I have to find out where the hell she at. She feel like she done disappeared off the. Ain't her and Brad going through right now?
They think they got a divorce already or getting one. But
have they figured out where all of those black babies are going?
You know, they adopted them together, so they gonna have to co-parent. Like I guess if you had a child that they birth children, because they do have like 2 of the kids are actually dead and like 5 of them are adopted or something like that. But I know that she has probably making that what is that children's movie where she's like the evil villain, the witch or whatever she was.
Oh, you talking about? I know what you're talking about. The
sort of girl, Majestic or Maleficent. Maleficent.
Yes.
Maleficent too. So they were doing a second version of that movie. But
okay, that movie was okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was cute. That's the last thing I heard of Angelina Jolie. But anyway.
Yeah, Alicia, I want you to still have your career. I really do. But let me tell you, I thought about Jay-Z with this situation and how he cheated and still has a career. the way that, but it's the way that they handled it though. It's the way that they handled it. Beyonce told her truth, Jay-Z told his truth, and they came together and they did a joint truth. You know what I'm saying? So like he lived in it. He put on the table, yes, it happened. I fucked up. I almost lost my shit. Niggas don't be me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, the
and I feel
Beehive
like
is still mixed reviews on that.
the Beehive is still mixed, but it hasn't impacted Jay-Z's. No, it hasn't really impacted his career. Another reason I feel like it hasn't impacted his career is because men are the ones who mainly support Jay-Z, and they don't, that stuff like that don't really impact them on that level. But women, girl, you lose women, you lose it all. You know what I'm saying? So, Alicia, she gonna have to stop dancing. Stop dancing, girl. Just come out and say, you know what? My timing was bad. I should have waited. I should have, you know, because it's nothing wrong with you getting a man. That's the thing. All you got to do is do the process right. All you got to do is do it right, girl. And you can have Swiss beats. We ain't care about no damn Swiss. Girl.
We don't. We really do not.
You can have him. Just do it in a way that's going to be respectful. But at the same time.
Or don't get caught.
Don't get, well, what I was going to say is that everybody make mistakes. And while I personally do not hold that against Alicia Keys, I really don't feel anybody should. I think that everybody makes mistakes, and they have certainly grown from that place. Even if it was just for the children's sake, they have definitely grown from that place. And I think that we as a public should also respect the fact that they've grown past it. I'm not one to be more mad about somebody's situation than they are about their own. I'm just not one to do. I'm really not. Like that time, like I told you, when I saw that Fabulous, his girlfriend, Erica, whatever her name is, she had got back, like she was spotted with him at the game or what. Like I was like, okay, I'm not. That's the last time I'm talking about that. I'm not about to be more mad at what your man doing to you than what you. I'm not. It's no sense in doing it. So she ain't move past it. Like it's okay. They Mashonda getting her coin now. She forcing Alicia to do all these.
Playing a smart game instead of being on the outs, you know, of your rich husband and his new wife
and his big celebrity wife. Right. Yeah, because Alicia's the biggest celebrity. Exactly. She's the biggest celebrity. She's the biggest draw in that whole equation. I may be divorcing
you, but I'm not going to divorce this coin. That's what I'm
exactly. She said you don't want. She said now Alicia. She probably called her. She said, Alicia, I'm thinking about writing a book. Now, it could either be how to get past stuff, or it could be a tell-all. And it'll just be dependent upon how this conversation goes. If you decide to do promotion alongside with me, then it'll just be how to get through it. But if you decline, come on now. Let me tell you, it's one video of, you probably saw it, that Good Morning America interview where Alicia put her arm around Mashonda and Mashonda picked it up.
I didn't watch that much of the interview. I just watched because they was trying to look real cozy.
Mashonda was like, okay, bitch, we ain't that. You know what I'm saying? You're doing a little much. You're doing too much. Move back, ho. Okay, so that's that. I'm kicking it back to you.
Okay, so yesterday, or let's say this week, the FBI arrested a Utah man that they believe sent envelopes to the Pentagon and the White House containing suspicious materials. So, Navy veteran William Clyde III was taken into custody on yesterday at his home in Utah after officials found out that envelopes containing raw materials to make the poison ricin were sent to the Pentagon and to the White House. 2 envelopes were sent directly to Defense Secretary Jim Mattis and Chief of Naval Operations Administration John Richardson. They discovered the envelopes at an off-site facility during a screening of all packages. So basically, if you were to try to mail the president or any high official any type of package or letter or anything like that, it would go through a screen before even make it to the White House. It would go through a whole screening process at a whole nother facility. And then if it's determined to be fine, then it will make its way to the White House, to the person that is addressed to. So they caught these during the screening process. So they three letters in total: two to the Pentagon, one to the White House. At least one to the White House, for sure. None of them actually made it to the White House or to the Pentagon. The White House incident, actually, the letters were recovered on Monday. It was suspected to contain ricin, which is and that letter was reportedly addressed directly to Trump. We know less about this because the Secret Service handles that, and they have not made any comments other than they did confiscate some suspicious materials in an envelope. What else did I want to mention about this? Ricin is a poison. I first learned about ricin during, I don't know if y'all watch Breaking Bad, but that's how I first learned what ricin is. But ricin is a poison found naturally in castor beans. According to the CDC, it would take a deliberate act to poison somebody with ricin. You just can't give somebody castor beans and then put it in their food and it's just going to poison them. You have to actually extract it. You have to go through a process to make the poison. And then also death from ricin, ricin poisoning can happen within 36 to 72 hours of exposure. And there is currently no antidote exists. So once you've been poisoned with ricin, it's pretty much a done deal. They have not yet determined a way to combat that or antidote to that. So, which to me, mailing some powdery substance, to my understanding, you have to consume ricin. It's not something that you can just touch and be poisoned by. But I don't know. From my understanding, you have to actually consume it, like eat it. But either way, this man is in custody, and that's what happened this week. Did you have any comments?
Girl, no ma'am, girl. You be, woo. Bitch, you be finding the shit, honey.
Do we have some more tea, or is that it?
We do. Okay, I got to talk about Nicki Minaj. I'm sorry.
Okay, let's go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Let's make it quick.
I'm sorry, because I know they probably like, oh, God, another Nicki story. Help. So yes,
is this about the documentary that she came out
with?
It
is.
Okay.
She released a snippet of this. Snippet. I like that. That's much better. She released a snippet of this upcoming documentary, and she's talking about abuse. And oh Lord, the girls we already done kind of put together who the hell she talking about. I mean, somebody helped us along the way.
Is it supposed to be Safari?
That's what the internet was originally saying. So let me start the beginning. In this little clip, she talked about how she, witnessed the abuse that her mother experienced. And she talked even about stepping in front of, her mother one time. She vowed not to ever let that be her life. And then it became her life, according to her. She says that this was during a period when she wasn't recording much music, when she was with someone. And instantly, like you said, the internet chose Safari, but it couldn't be Safari because the year that her and Safari broke up or, was officially over was the year that I don't even know what the name of that album was, but she had an album that came out that year. And, it was the one with Pink, there you go. And she was detailing, their relationship. So obviously you had been in the studio. Around that time.
And that was the last album that Safari was involved in certain songs on that album still.
He was. And so it was after that she ended up dating Meek for around 2 years. And that was the period where she didn't have music. And now she hadn't popped back up with music until this year with Queen. So on top of that, 2 hours after that clip came out, he responded, the internet saying is a response. I mean, it certainly feels like one. Mm-hmm. And he put up a post on Twitter. It says, when cornered, they'll lash out by claiming that they are the real victim. Their story, come on. Their story will detail your drinking problem, depression, low self-esteem, financial woes, etc., thereby gaining the sympathy of their fan club. Meanwhile, you will be isolated and confused while this aggressive campaign transpires. And when you emerge, the trap would have been set. And in his caption, he said, LOL. So, do we agree with Meek or do we feel like Nicki is just telling her truth?
Do we agree with Meek? What do you mean Meek? Do we agree that it is Meek or it's not? So I don't believe it's a fraud.
Do we agree that, because Meek is saying that it's a lie, basically. With that statement, you're saying that it did not happen. She's trying to blow things out of proportion.
The statement that you just read, is it from Safari or is it from Meek Mill?
That's from Meek Mill.
Oh, so Meek Mill posted that with the LOL.
Right.
Actually, I thought it was Safari.
Safari hadn't said a word about it. And we already know Nicki was the aggressor.
Right, she the one stabbed
in that
him.
relationship with Safari. I mean, she's talked about throwing dishes and shit. So we already know that was the one. Now, what I'm thinking is she might have went into that relationship with Meek throwing them same dishes and Meek threw one back.
Because isn't Meek like 6'6" or something?
Come on now, he is very tall. Yes. I'm thinking he threw a dish back and she was like, oh shit. This ain't never happened before. Ain't a nigga never thrown a dish back. Wait, what's this?
I just don't see Safari being like that. I just don't see it, but you never know.
I see Safari being a lot, but not that.
Right. I can see him being too much or a clown, but not.
I can see him like breakdancing while she throwing dishes and trying to avoid it. Like, I can see him like ticking and trying to avoid the dishes. But
Lord, I don't know.
We're going to see where this goes. You know what? I don't know how I feel about
Sympathy and Payola to me.
I don't know why Meek found it so pressing to release that, because it's obviously, I don't care what nobody say, it's obviously a response. It's obviously a response to the release of this. So I don't know why. It's like, if you're not the one, and the internet had already pinned it up against Safari. Some girls was even saying Nas. If you're not the one, I know now. Come on now. Come on. Don't they got a little Khalees validation to it.
Right. And that would actually make more sense, because even when she was with Meek Mill, she was still doing verses. She wasn't working on an album per se. She was doing verses.
And she jumped in that and jumped out.
Right. And then when she was with Nas, she wasn't doing nothing. We didn't see her. Once we saw that first picture, we didn't see her until 8 months later, and she said,
"Girl,
this wasn't me."
That would be the story. If it's really Nas and Khalees said all this shit about Nas, that would be the tea.
Because we already knows that I believe he likes to put his hands on women.
Insecurity issues galore, but I could also see the same about Meek. Unfortunately, I could see Meek being the Nas what Nas was to Khalees. I can see Meek being the Nicki.
But I just feel like I don't know. I honestly don't get that from Meek. I still don't. I could see it more than Safari.
You know, the girls was making fun of Meek while the whole time. You know, is that a world tour or your girls tour? I can see you getting punched over that line. I can see you getting punched over that line. I can see. I'm just saying. I'm not trying. I mean. I don't want to. I need
her to. She needs to say during this thing, because she gonna make me watch this to see. I need her to give specific dates, and then also Meek Mill. How long has he been in jail? And then, because she said that she released another clip today. Did you see the clip today? Because she said I was coming out of a period of not writing. I guess she was expounded on that, and she was like. She's like, for the album, she said, and I just left and I went to Miami and then I went to New York. And she's like, and that's when I recorded Good Form. So to me, that sounds like this was recent. Like it was recent. So to me, it wouldn't be Meek Mill, because he'd been going through his legal stuff for the last almost year. And then prior to that, they had already been broke up, and then she's been with Nas since then. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So the dates, it just don't make sense, because she been broke up with Meek Mill for like a year and a half, and the songs that she was talking about are songs that she just wrote this year probably.
She playing games, and the thing is, I know that Nicki can be so extra
and calculated.
She can and very much so calculated. And the thing is, I'm hearing that Cardi B and Meek Mill may have a diss track together.
Oh God, that
has been recorded. They were recently spotted together as well. It's been alleged that they have. They done put something together.
Didn't Meek Mill go to Remy Ma and tell her about the whole leaking?
Come on now.
Meek
Come on
Mill,
now, and you know, and Nicki was not the stuff that Nicki was saying about Meek, and you know, I did everything I could, and all of like it, and then the fact that apparently, according to the lawyer, Nicki wasn't really there like talking about. She wasn't really like a help.
She did what she did for her brother case.
She said that the judge. She actually took the judge's side. She said that the judge did all that she could, and.
Okay.
It's messy. So we want to see.
I need some more information so we can nail somebody.
to the cross. Okay, so do you have more?
No, I do not.
Okay. Well, let's hit this real quick because we talked about TV earlier, but we did not talk about Braxton Family Values. Bitch, did you see it?
No, the episode came out with the
the one with Tell me what's going on.
I did not see it. I did not see it at all.
Your behavior diminishes your message.
I saw those clips.
Now you saw that. Baby, that episode was fire. That episode was fire.
So it wasn't on Iyanla's show. It was on Braxton Family Values.
It was on Braxton Family Values, and that's the thing. I'm hearing that Iyanla is potentially considering going after Tamar for defamation because she had been online along with Tamar as one of her besties, honey. Had been online claiming that, she can't fix nothing, and they had been referring to her as Rhonda, which I never knew was Iyanla's true name. I never knew that. And so she feel like that's defamation and all the stuff that they've been saying when she actually was a part of the Braxton Family Values. She was there to do the reunion episodes. Well, not the reunion, but the coming together, the season finale episodes to try to sort out the issues that they have. So Tamar is claiming, or at least on Twitter, these messages have since been deleted. Somebody came at Tamar on Twitter and said, at Tamar, at Tony, because Iyanla said that both of them were late. They had agreed to meet up for brunch the day after the first day when they came over to the shooting location, and they talked to Iyanla. They were trying to figure out. You ain't seen it all. I don't want to say too much.
No,
about
you can say go ahead and tell it all.
I need you to know how Ms. E act. I need you to have seen Ms. E and the way that she act and the way that she was not very defensive, and Iyanla even had to say at one point, the fish stinks from the head down. Baby, Ms. E said, well, I don't stink. So baby, Ms. E was not there for it. You're going to have to, once you get caught up, because this other episode, it looks like the one that's coming on. I think it come on the day.
So it's multiple episodes with Iyanla?
Yes, to this. Yes, bitch. It's another one. You ain't even seen the new trailer. The new trailer came out, and baby, Tamar, at this point, she don't had enough of Iyanla. She was like, who you talking to? Who you talking to like that? You not. And Iyanla can get sideways.
She can.
Iyanla can get. You're not supposed to disrespect your elders, but Iyanla can get sideways as hell. So on Twitter, somebody came at Tamar. They said, at Tamar, at Tony, y'all were so disrespectful to not show up. Respect people's time. She is there to help you. All you had to do was show up, and you couldn't even do that. And Tamar said.
Before you say what Tamar said.
Okay.
When she said this stuff to them, and when she looked at Trina, Tracy, and Tawanda and said, y'all always stuck filling in and having for Tamar and Tony, I felt that. I felt that.
It's true.
Because they can't afford not to be on time. They can't afford not to show up. They can't afford not to, they don't have the luxury.
They don't have what the other girls have. Those two, Tamar, and if anybody's going to be late, I would expect it to be Tamar and Tony because they actually do have other obligations and other things going on. So that's not necessarily an excuse for the time, but I mean, let's see what Tamar says, and maybe let's see if you feel differently after this. Tamar said, that was a lie, and that's what I was saying. Production told me what time to show up, and that's why I said I don't fuck with WeTV, because she said that. And she said, I don't fuck with Magical F's, which is the production company, because they are the ones because she was going off on them also. So the way that what she's basically claiming is that production set it up to look like she was solely being gone off on, but that actually Iyanla was going off on production as well. Because someone came back and said, at Tamar, you are your own worst enemy. You are too good and too blessed to have such a poor behavior. And she said, and you should ask her, who was she going off on? She was going off on Capital Production. But like always, they made it look like she was going off on me. That was actually Tony's quote. And she said, like Tony said, but that they didn't show that part. So some of this, I believe, is true. Production, we know this to be the case when it comes to reality TV shows. And I know we've said that Braxton Family Values is one of the realest. And I think that at a point in time, that was true. But I believe that the family's frustration with WeTV and the production is the fact that now they are trying to turn this. And even Tamar said that before, they're trying to turn it into something that it wasn't. This is not what we originally signed up for. And so I do believe that production has tried to turn up the arguments, turn up the drama, and that they are contributing and making this look like maybe something that it's not necessarily.
Right.
Do you agree with that?
I can definitely agree with that because the show, I feel like it was starting to lose its authenticity, which is part of the reason why I was starting to. I feel like probably the views started to let me not speak on the video because I haven't looked at them. But I personally stopped watching it as much. It used to be my favorite, and I used to always say that that's like the realest because I felt like it was very real. You put them in a room, you let Tamar talk for 20 minutes, the other girls was gonna get upset. It was clockwork, and it was gold, and we loved it. But at a certain point, it did start to get too much, too something, and I couldn't necessarily put my finger on it. It was like the feuds were getting pettier and pettier and pettier.
And they
smaller.
were going much farther than they had.
Right, and y'all blowing up for pettier reasons. Then you're blowing up to bigger capacities for less reasons than you did in the past. So,
I don't know. So we're gonna see how this next one go.
Yeah,
and
I'm
I
ready
need
to
you to
watch
get
it.
caught up.
I'm gonna get caught up and we can do a full review next week.
Yes, God. Okay, so let me mention this real quick while we're still on the mic. Did you see Kanye West's SNL?
I did not.
I didn't as well, but I did hear about it. Did you at least hear
I heard
about
that
it?
he was trying to say he was bullied, this, that, and the third.
Yes. So I know in the last episode I said that Kanye was still in the sunken place, and the most he had done was raise up the blinds and look out the window. Well, this week he confirmed that to be true, and he decided that he preferred to stay inside the sunken place, and he's not going to go outside. That's what I've gotten from this.
And then I heard him say something about abolishing the 13th Amendment and all kinds of stuff.
Yes, girl. So he was the musical guest on SNL, and the performance was supposed to be in support of his new album that was supposed to come out, but that didn't happen. Apparently, he ain't even done recording the doggone album. That's just how bipolar and just all over the place that he is right now.
Didn't he just release an album that nobody cared
He
about?
did not too long ago. Yeah, it's called I'm Bipolar and I'm Happy or some shit, girl. I don't know. So he's been spotted lately wearing Make America Great Again hats along with support Colin Kaepernick shirts, and he's as confused as I would expect him to be right about now. And he went out here, he told, apparently like this whole little rant that he did on SNL was not planned. Like he was backstage, and this is according to Kenan Thompson. He was like backstage and he was like, "Hey guys, y'all come on stage with me while I continue to ruin my career. Come on, I got something to say." And so he ran out there, and that's when he started talking about, y'all all coming at Trump neck, and I don't think it's productive, and I think we need to talk to him, and and he talked about abolishing the 13th Amendment, which by the way is the one that made slavery illegal.
The 13th Amendment abolished slavery.
Except for like in situations where it's to repay a debt or something like what?
Except when it's to lock our black asses up and then force us to do work and labor for free.
And this is true, and that's what. And he went on TMZ and he further expounded. He was like, "I didn't mean abolish. I meant amend. That was the word that I meant." He talked about. Apparently, he has a friend in Chicago that's a rapper. That his name is GLC, and he wrote a statement for Kanye, and the statement was in 1865, the 13th Amendment stated that no man is destined to slavery or involuntary servitude unless convicted of a crime. This translates to in order to make a freed man a slave, all you have to do is convict him of a crime. And we already know that to be true.
This may be new to you, it ain't new to us.
Exactly.
Oh, these fake woke people is killing me.
He's getting ready to do an interview soon with Charlamagne, and apparently the interview is supposed to deal with mental health, and that's really the only thing that I'm interested in hearing Kanye talk about, because he needs to solve that first. You need to work on that. All of the energy that you have.
He needs to solve it before he does an interview about it.
Before he does anything. Now I'm okay with y'all talking about mental health, because Charlamagne is an advocate for getting therapy, and maybe he'll be the person in his pocket to tell him, "Nigga, you need to go back into therapy." Like maybe he can can be the catalyst to make that happen. But do that first, and when you come out, if you really are interested in making some sort of change, the best way that you could do that is to do like how Jay-Z has done, like when he helped finance and executive produce the documentary on Trayvon Martin. Like do stuff like that. I think that's where you would be of service, because Jay-Z didn't write that documentary. He's not the director. You know what I'm saying? He's not the
just
cinematographer.
He had
put
the means
money
to make
up
it
there.
happen.
And he's got the connections. Yes, do that. Like you can. It's sad to see someone who's in a position to actually be of service and not be doing things that are actually conducive to moving the culture forward. Like, if you really are wanting to do that, then go about it that way. Be quiet and go about it that way. This whole campaign to try to get Donald Trump and Colin Kaepernick in the same room, sis, you can let it go.
Let it go.
You can let it go. Because he was like, maybe we can get together and we can remove that son of a bitch statement. What do you mean remove?
No.
Is that the wrong word too? Did you?
No.
Because he said what he said.
Colin Kaepernick's message is clear. It's profound. And it does not need to be amended. It's ain't no, oh, we can both come to, no. It's either y'all going to do what's right or y'all can continue to do what's wrong. It's not interested.
Kanye just better be glad that he secured the level of fame and the level of success that he has at this point. Because if all of this, and I understand there's a lot of mental health things that are really in this. But just speaking of him, the artist, if it wasn't for the fact, because that album, I mean, I doubt it's going to do terrible. You know, it's definitely not going to match the success of his first few albums, but it's not going to do absolutely terrible. Kanye still has a fan base. People are still interested in him. They'll still support it and all of that.
They love his
the same way that they support Lil Wayne, even though he don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter. They'll support it. But if you were a new artist doing all of this, bro, you wouldn't even have a chance.
He's clearly resting on his laurels because the music ain't been good anyway. But anyway.
So that's Kanye. I know Beyonce has been accused of witchcraft. We do know that. I do want y'all to know we do know. We know.
Did you see the memes that they made of it's the scene from Coven where all the witches are getting in formation.
And they said that
they got the formation beat going in the
if Beyonce, I know I saw one that said Beyonce is a witch, and then it said like Bayhive, and then it was like them also doing witchcraft. Like, bitch, we don't give a fuck. We do not like. I don't. She's Creole, so it's not. It's you tried it because you know that that's not far off from stereotypes about that area.
The South
yes, she was a drummer for Beyonce for like 7 years. The story sounds very ridiculous.
She said that Beyonce possessed her body, and it was all kind of stuff.
It sounds like mental health.
It sounds like you obsessed. You have a.
I know she said that a psychic told her that Beyonce put a spell on her cat. I was trying to figure out which cat at first. I didn't know. I was like, girl, which one you talking? I just need to give me the details.
Goodness. But anyway.
Also, let me mention quickly, Mariah Carey's her first single for the new album is out now. It is called With You. You girls should go check it out. I thought it was a great song. I'm happy about it. And I'm excited for the album to come out.
Did they announce when it's coming out yet?
It's gonna be sometime this month, but I don't know exactly when. And I also don't know when the music video for that song is coming out, but the song is out. So you girls go take a listen to it. I thought it was cute.
I'm looking forward to listening to it.
Yeah, she gave more vocal than she did on Get the Fuck Out, so I think the girls will be happy about that. And there was a beat, because that was the other thing. The girls like, I was waiting on the beat to drop. So the song has a beat, and it dropped. So I hope the girls check it out and like it.
I'm looking forward to hearing it.
They won't leave my mama alone, but it's all right.
Is that it? Are we
done?
That
is it for today.
Are we finished? Are we done?
We are neither, because they trying to. Speaking of Birdman, I know you see they're trying to blame him, honey, for this whole assassination attempt, honey. On Lil Wayne.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Girl, they got this jail phone call, apparently to the man who is in jail for having allegedly shot up Lil Wayne's bus, and he was saying, "Man, you need to get this money. You need to get this money, man." I don't know what the fuck he talking about. I don't know. It don't necessarily sound like you done set Wayne up, but it don't necessarily sound like you haven't set Wayne up.
Right.
So I don't know. We'll get to that when it boils.
Right.
When the pot done.
Did he ever marry Tony Braxton? Or did they just postpone that?
You know what? The Braxtons got so much. The show really went like that was the focus. That was the focus for a while. The man, then it just became all this drama girl. I don't even know because that's the only way we were finding out about the current state of their affairs.
Because
right,
she had an obligation to expose pieces of her life.
She did. And girl, wasn't it funny that when you didn't see it, girl, Tamar and Tony were both late, but Tamar at least came in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Tony set her ass in the car.
What?
The whole time Ayanna was in the building going off on Tamar and them, Tony was in the car, bitch. Tawanda had to go outside to tell Tony what happened. She was like, what? She did what? Girl, you know your ass supposed to be in that building.
Right.
Tony
Tony extra.
I guess that's what you can do when you the breadwinner.
Right. Or was. Well, I don't know. It probably still is. I don't know.
So much going on.
You the only one with Grammys.
Right. You have credentials.
There we go.
Well, I guess that's it. Thank you guys for listening to Sympathy and Payola.
Yes, God. We will see y'all next week.
Bye.